want to jump inside. I mean, want to is kind of an exaggeration, but perhaps have to. This is Deus? What are those 4 orbs spinning around it? It seems as if the power of those 4 things is supporting the center. What does that say? So that means that big thing in the middle is the core of Deus? Probably. Who cares about those orbs? Let's just crush the core. Striking directly at the center rather than using fuel unnecessarily. That is one strategy, but I believe another plan of attack would be to defeat its surroundings first. If we decide to attack the supporting orbs first, then it might be wise to leave the battles up to us. We should be able to do something about them without using up phase power. That'll allow him to use the full power of Xenogears to defeat Deus. And yes, of course, to save Ellie. Whether we do a direct strike to the core or take down the supports first, I guess that is best left up to fate to decide. Thanks, everyone. To attack Deus directly, or to take out its supports first. I wonder which is best. I guess this is here, so you can equip your voice. Thor's Thunder. I don't really care about. I don't think we're going to be fighting with our people much. I guess I could just give everyone angel ARs. Hope for the best. Let's just hope we don't need too much ether defense. I got so many angel ARs. Actually, can't I just do this? Forgot a lot of the trippy, wild, weird stuff this game has. I mean, literally the entire game. You mean you forget the entire game? Okay. Oh yeah, Choo-Choo literally gets nothing. Cool story, bro. Holy cow, I forgot she's like kitted out. Yo, Dirty Colonel, thank you very much for being here. And also Chaos, thank you for the 1,000 bits. Holy cow, thank you, man. You can play that. Got a second here while I equip stuff. If it'll play. Did it play? Hello? I don't know why it didn't play. But thank you very much, man. Just caught up to New Thread 2.0. I don't get to catch live streams much because I work overnights, but I just wanted to stop in and say you're wonderful and keep up the great work, and thank you. Thank you. That means so much to me that you take the time to stop by. Thank you. Yeah, man, you're here just in time for the finale. Alright, let's see what happens. There isn't anything else in here, right? I think I just bumped into an orb. Okay, so I do just fight him with my normal party. Is this thing? I have a feeling that what they were saying was like you could fight the orbs with the other party members so that you don't run out of fuel. Okay. Which is a really cool idea. Like, the whole game has had this fuel consumption mechanic to it. So it's cool that the final boss kind of follows that. You know, in a way, if you decide to fight it like this, you might want to use different robots so that you can survive. There's no way to get your fuel back. Or health back, really, with gears. Which is a really unique concept to this game, because pretty much every other RPG I've ever played, you could just simply stack up on items, but gears don't work like that, so there really is no way to get stuff back once you use it. I'm a little worried about fighting with my other characters, though. They're very underleveled. Picking on Faye. Oh my god, the damage! Stop it! Well, it doesn't seem like that's the smart thing to do. Doesn't seem smart to just go head on, but maybe to save your fuel. I might try that if this fails. So there's a difference between doing a hard challenge like a super boss and just fighting a boss in the incorrect way. Obviously it's a choice which one you do. Just because it's harder doesn't mean I'm gonna do it. Honestly, it's kind of looking like it might be easier. Because this is... yikes. It's looking like this might be easier if you leveled up all your characters. But because I didn't, this is looking like a yikes. This thing nearly killed me. It might still kill me, because it's not dying. Might just be dead. Sealed Deus Earth Anointing? Is that what it said? So maybe we're sealing like different moves that Deus has or something? But yeah, like we're in crap position now. Position. Is this feels less out of battle. And I feel like it takes the same amount of fuel. It takes 600. Well, there's no way I'm surviving more of those fights. I do wonder if each one has an element, if I could, like, plan for the element, you know? I could throw 3 other characters in and see how they fare against each orb. Or I could just go for the core and see what happens. It doesn't seem like... Well, I guess everyone is kind of on level, so... Doesn't seem like what I'm sealing is really that big of a deal, but... I guess we'll find out. Oh boy. Epic song. gotta get another turn. No! Great, this guy has like a healing gimmick too. Fuel drains, steal fuel. Yeah, that's not good. That's not good. My fuel already sucks. Power loss. Yeah, this isn't gonna go well. I already know. I'm doing good ether damage. Holy cow. Speed. Yeah, I'm kind of impressed with the lack of music that they were able to hold on to a song for Deus. Okay. Better. This song is amazing. Well, at least we're really fast. That might be our key to victory, is just being fast. Heal sucks. God. So he gets to heal and steal my fuel. And do whatever this does. I think it's supposed to deal damage, but I have angel protection. So if I can kill the orb, if I can kill the orb that steals my fuel, or kill the orb that heals him, that would be big. I don't think saving up for the big moves is really worth it. Maybe for Faye it is, because he's doing 1,000 with his regular attacks. Okay, we have defense against this. Which is good, because it looks like it's going to delete me off the face of existence. Have left. Not sure what that means. Ow. So they're gonna shoot laser beams at me, I guess. I don't know, we're hanging in there. And we're dealing a lot of damage. So whichever the orb is that deals angel damage, that one I don't even need to worry about because I have protection against it anyways. Oh, that's gonna hurt her. That's enough for protection. Oh, maybe she does. Oh, that's right. I gave her the yeah. I did. And I don't know. God, phase or Satana's dead. I don't know what the orb that I got rid of does. It said Earth Anointment, so it might just be an Earth attack or something. Kind of sucks is if I do this again, I'm not sure I can actually figure out which orb is which. I think I just have to guess. This time's goner. Doctor, man. God, what is that? I don't know what that was. I do not have enough fuel to heal, so just... Uh-oh. I think Elmeraldo's confused. Looking dead in the water. Especially if Aldo's still confused after this. Oddly, the fuel drain thing doesn't seem to drain fuel once you're low. I like halved my fuel at the start, and then after that it didn't really steal anymore. Yeah, okay, she's not confused anymore. It's up to you, Emeralda. You can only really do, like, a little more than he heals for, so... She's got one more attack. Well, this begs the question. Do I, like, try to take out... I mean, if I could take out the orb that heals, that would be the big one. If I could use 3 other party members and just take out the one that heals. And then I could go into this fight with, like, full fuel. Even though the fuel drain is probably gonna make that tough anyways. One more hit. No shot. No actual shot. Not with the heal. There's no way. He healed for 4K. He must have been at like 1,000 before that heal. There's no actual shot. There's no actual shot. Dude, that's happened so many times in Let's Plays too. Oh my god. That has happened so many times in these Let's Plays. Is that the end though? That's the question. But that's still insane. That is crazy that we clutched that fight out. That is incredible. I feel like there's more, but do I get a heal is the question. What happened? Your guess is as good as mine. My gear won't budge anymore. Zohar modifier has ceased functioning. Oh, are we gonna have to go in without our gears now? That is probably the reason why our gears cannot move anymore. There's only a slight energy response coming from the core now. What about Ellie? What's happening to her inside of that thing? The Deus system's bind on her should have worn off now. So why aren't we getting any kind of response? You don't think we hurt her in that battle too? Faye, calm down. The sensors are picking up a response from a life form within Deus. It is probably Ellie, so do not worry. I believe she is okay. What are you talking? How do you even have readings? I thought the gears weren't working. Ellie, can you hear me, Ellie? Deus is no longer active. It's all over now, so come out of there. Show me your face. Ellie! Ellie! What the? What's happening? Doc, what's going on? What's wrong? I am now detecting a tremendous amount of energy coming from within Deus. It seems as if something that was sealed up till now has suddenly been freed and is growing enormously. It couldn't be the wave existence? The wave existence? That's gotta be it. The wave existence was just freed from its cage of fleshly existence in Zohar. It's probably attempting to return to the higher dimension that it originally came from. Which means this is the after effect of the dimensional shift? What do you mean after effect? It is like a shockwave that is induced by the dimensional displacement. But so much energy, if this much energy is unleashed here now, If so much energy is unleashed, then what will happen, Doc? Tell us. Then this planet will be annihilated. These numbers indicate that it is more than enough energy to take out a whole planet. What you mean? You can't be serious. We all fought so hard only to see this happen? Isn't there anything we can do? Can't we stop the after effect? Unfortunately, there is nothing we can do. Almost all machinery, including our gears, are out of commission due to Zohar having been shut down. This time, there is nothing we can do. This time, there is nothing we can do. To put it to you straight, this is the end for us. This is freaking stupid. How the hell could it have ended up like this? What were we all fighting for up to now? The vibrations are intensifying. Hold on a sec. No, these vibrations are different. It has to be something else causing it. Look. Deus is rising? What is it this time? Deus is releasing its remaining energy and is beginning to accelerate. If it continues to accelerate at this rate, it will soon leave the atmosphere. You don't think? Think what? Ellie's driving it. That it's Ellie. Ellie is moving Deus. Are you sure? I'm sure of it. Where'd she get the controls? Ellie is trying to save us by moving Deus away from the planet. She's going to sacrifice herself. For like the 4th time. That can't be. Oh, Ellie. Can't we do anything? We can't just sit here and watch this happen, can we? Wait. There is still something I can do. What is it, Faye? My gear still works. Without Zohar, the power source for your gears, the only gear that now remains active is mine. Just like Deus, my gear and I made contact with Zohar. We are the only ones who can move now. I am going to save Ellie. That is absurd. Even if you were able to catch up to Deus, you will not have enough energy to make it back. Even so, I still must go. Ellie's taking the whole burden upon herself. If anything happens to her, I want to be there with her. Hey, just wait a minute. You know I'm not going to stand by and let you commit double suicide if that's what you're planning. Bart. You better come back alive, you hear? Promise me. Promise me that you will come back. Then I'll let you go. Thanks, Bart. I promise. I promise you that I will return with Ellie. You better. Yeah, of course. Alright, then get going. But let's let him go, Satan. At this point, Faye is the only one that'll be able to bring Ellie back. There's nothing we can say or do about it. You are right. Faye, keep your promise. No matter what. Faye and Ellie, both of you, come back home. We'll be waiting for Chew. For you, Chew. I appreciate this, Bart and the rest of you. Well, I had better get going now, but don't worry, I will be back soon. I guess this will be the last journey you and I make together. I'm counting on you, partner. Okay, that was a pretty cool moment. It was a cool moment between him and Bart, but also a cool moment with him and the gear. Because, you know, since the very beginning of the game, he's hated the gear and hated gears in general. Like, the whole first 40 hours was him like, I hate this thing. And now he's like calling it his partner. I didn't really expect that to be a theme. Kinda cool. Ellie! The sound design in this game. Where am I? That's Ellie. This must mean that I am inside of Deus? Not exactly. Your actual body is but a physical object. It has merely been absorbed into Deus's outer shell. Only your consciousness is here. That's a creepy head. Of course, the girl you perceive in front of you is also not a true being. Your consciousness is merely creating her image. The wave existence? No, that's not you. Who are you? This is another news song. It can't be. Is that you, Krellian? That's right, isn't it? Krellian, it was you who did this to Ellie. The path of Sephiroth has been connected. No one can stop God from returning to his world now. So what have you come here for, Lacan? I came here to take the person I love back with me, so set Ellie free. The Deus system has been destroyed. It's all over now. So instead I ask you, what are you hoping to achieve now? The time when all things started, the place where all things were one, I am going to return there. What place? Before the beginning of the universe and the undulating waves of the higher dimension, all things were one. It was the waves spilling out from there that created this four-dimensional universe of ours. Humankind and the souls of humankind that were born from there are merely leftovers of those spilled waves. So, you're going back there? Is that what you desired? Lacan, why such reluctance to become one with the god? What attachment could you possibly have to this wretched old world? What meaning can be found in living out such a short existence, hurting others, hurting yourself, grinding one another down, only to inevitably die and return to dust? Why, everything we could ever desire is here. No need to be troubled by this, the need for love, for this place is filled with the love of God. I have not lost hope in humans as much as you have, Krellian. Someday humankind will come to understand one another. I sincerely believe that. How can you be so sure? Humans will never come to understand each other. You said that she is the person you love, but can you say that you each truly understand each other? All humans do is place themselves at a comfortable distance from each other and call that mutual understanding, spiritual unity, or true love, but it is all lies. Man cannot associate with others without first deceiving themselves. That is the way that they were created. But one being's ego can't determine everyone's fate. People have the right to choose their own destiny. That is why humans have free will. And what if that will itself was predetermined? What then? Oh, what folly! Humans are just primitive life forms that have no such things as free will. Mankind has merely been allowed to live in an imperfect state, as is, as will be. It is for this very reason, because humans have this wretched will or whatnot, that humans must experience sadness and loss. For someone to gain something means another must lose it. It is impossible to make humankind share limited things and affections. So I came to the conclusion that everything must be reverted back to where it all began. To go back to when it all was one, waves and nothing else. It is not my human's ego, it is the will of the waves, the will of God. Well, that's alright too, we don't have to be perfect. Actually, being imperfect makes mankind live by helping each other. That's what being human is. That's mutual understanding. That's unity and love. I'm glad, no, I'm proud to be human. Ellie placed the future, tomorrow, in our hands, based on our choice, and she is working to keep Deus far from our planet. She is also trying to heal your heart, you who wants to journey all alone to be with God. Can't you understand Ellie's feelings? Do you have to become one with God before you are able to comprehend all of this? Wow, bars. Do you have to become one with God to even understand? I understand, I know her feelings, as if they were my own. Yes, she and I are one. We don't need God's help. Well then, prove it to me. Show me this power of humans. Show me this love that you say can make you independent of God. I'm trying to figure out, like, what happened to Krellian. Like, how did Krellian get here? I know he was still alive, but how did he get here? And how did he, like, become... Like, is this some kind of twist where, like, he was actually the existence the whole time? Or did he just get absorbed? Okay, so he just got absorbed. Like, he just ended up here because he fused with Deus. Like, the existence is still doing its thing. We're just in here with Krellian. And Krellian's trying to stop us because he's Krellian. Something nanomachines. The answer is always nanomachines. The heck is Ouroboros? Gonna be Ouroboros? So she kind of hurts. But I hurt more. The heal. Please don't ask if it's the final boss. You're asking people to spoil. Ow. Probably should have boosted start of this. Punch. Man. Did I do it? Ellie. Faye. It was Krellian. Krellian released me. Krellian? Yes, I came to understand after becoming one with Krellian. His heart was so full of sadness. That is why he desired for he and I to become one with God. Because that would be the return to the beginning of everything. He told me. You should be with him. That is what he said. You see, he already knew. Yes, he already knew how I felt, how you felt. But there was nothing we or he could do. He had no choice but to go forward, even if it meant he lost all feelings, lost everything that was human. For all humankind's sake, there was no going back, even looking back held to many memories. And he would have, just wanted to go back, even though he couldn't. So please forgive him. Krellian loved people more than anyone else. I somehow knew it all along. I just knew he was really that kind of person. I am so sorry. Please forgive me. I was wrong. I thought sacrificing myself in order to save others was the right thing to do, but my actions only brought sadness to all the people who I left behind. And that sadness gave birth to even more sadness. As long as I still live within you, my life is not just mine alone. Ellie, that isn't wrong. To sacrifice yourself for others is a noble thing. Even if it were to benefit yourself, it's no problem. There will always be a person healed, one or the other. Love gains its original shine only when there's an interrelationship. I don't know why I was trying to say interrelove. I was trying to put a V in there. Interrelationship between the giver and the receiver. It is incomplete when one or the other is missing. The two are one. It was you, Ellie, who taught me that. I believe it is what it means to be human. I can now understand the true importance of it. I don't know if it's the right answer or not, but we have a lot of time to think about it. What Krellian himself was looking for all along, we will find the answer to it all ourselves. Thank you, Faye. Ellie. Yeah, that was a pretty cool line. If I'm within you, then my life isn't only my own.
Let's return to our planet.
That light. It's the point of contact with our world. But the dimensional shift has already begun. Will we make it in time?
Can you run?
If we're together, I can.
Krellian, you.
There's no time. This place is about to be destroyed. Now there is no more God. This is no longer their planet. This is your home planet that you are now standing on.
Krellian, you aren't going, are you?
No. Since that time, I have stopped being human. I've committed so many sins that any attempt at living like a human is impossible. The only one who could have forgiven me was God.
That's not true. I know they would understand. There's still plenty of time to atone for your sins. You, of all people, could do it.
Always the peacemaker, eh, Lacan? Perhaps that's what it means to be human. But regardless, I cannot go. It's something I've already decided. I go to walk with God, even if there's no place left for me upon my return. I must go now.
Krelian.
Actually, I envy you too.
What happened?
Waves of the explosion disrupted the ionosphere, making it impossible to get a visual. They were probably caught up in the explosion.
That's a lie! He'll come back. He promised us he would. I know it.
Thank goodness Choo Choo's here.
Run through the cold of the night as passion burns.
Man, what an ending. Holy. Wow. I'm like blown away. So, first of all, the themes of like humankind living on, even though like in this case, I'm trying to remember back to Faye's discussion with the quote-unquote God, but I can't remember if he had said, like, humankind shouldn't exist, and then Faye was like, no, it should, or if the existence agreed that humankind should survive, but there's an interesting theme of, like, should humankind live on, given they're not perfect? That Square really likes to do. In fact, they just did it with Final Fantasy 16 to, like, a very similar degree that they did it here. So that's pretty interesting. I really like Krelian, and how, like, Krelian ended up being the main villain, but not the main, like, evil power we had to defeat, but he was kind of like the main villain. And he was like the one that basically you could look at and be like, that's why humankind shouldn't exist. Like, if you had to point at, like, one person to be like, yep, we should just all return to dust or return to God or whatever, it would be Krellian, because he was, like, the one that started everything. But, in the end, he was the one to save original humankind and send them back to the planet and go with God. So, like, there's a crazy cool, like, arc with Krellian. And I liked how Faye and Ellie were both, like, what's what I'm looking for? What did she say? She said, forgave him. But in the end, Faye and Ellie both forgave him. And I really like that line that he had, where he was like, the only person that could possibly forgive me is God. Which is really cool, given how, like, anti-religion, and I always said it like it wasn't necessarily anti-religion, but it was more like anti-bad religion throughout the game. But you had, like, the anti-cult religious stuff at the beginning, and then there was, like, the whole thing with the crosses, near the end. And, like, there was a lot of, like, religious, stuff. And it was really cool to see at the end Krellian say, like, something like that. No, like, that, like, gives me the impression that it's very not anti-religion. Because that's very in line with the Christian God, but also, like, a lot of other God figures in other religions, where, like, he would, well, not really. I mean, I'm not a religion. I don't know that much about other religions. I mostly only know about the Christian religion and, basics about other religions. But that's a very Christian religion thing, is God being forgiving, all forgiving. And so that was kind of cool, like, him saying that. Still, I don't see it as, like, a... Well, I mean, you could honestly even see it as, like, a... In the end, the God that they were talking about wasn't an evil force, but the existence was the real God that Krellian wanted to follow from the beginning. But anyways, what's absolutely insane is that final cutscene. How long it was, how epic it was, how much voice acting there was. Like, man, they really, like... No wonder they had to skip some stuff at the beginning of Disc 2, because the amount of work that's in this game is just unreal. Xenogears Episode 5. Man, we didn't play the last 4 one. Where's the other 4 episodes? We gotta get me on Amazon. We gotta play episode 1. So, a lot of people were saying that Disc 2 was, like, bad, or, like, that, it's a great game until Disc 2 and then everything falls off. I really disagree. I think that the issue is the beginning of Disc 2. I think that there's multiple things you can point at the beginning of Disc 2, whether it be the finale of Bart's story, the whole, like, Soylent system section. That stuff was really unfortunate. And like you can tell that they wanted to do more with that. And it really sucks that they built up so much with Bart and some of the other characters, and then it kind of just falls off there because they didn't have time to finish it. I give them a huge amount of credit for making it work, though. I think that many other games would have just been canceled or removed that entirely and just had a big gap in the story. The fact that they were able to do the chair cutscenes and make them work, and I can sit here and actually like understand what they wanted to put there is amazing. I don't think I've ever played a game that could pull that off. So I got to give them credit for what they did. Sure, it's a shame, but I give them a lot of credit for like actually being able to pull it off and make it work. But I couldn't disagree more with people saying that Disc 2 is bad. Like, after the few sections that had to be explained through chair cutscenes, I mean, we got back to the world map, and even from like before that, pretty much from like the moment that Deus happened, it's been phenomenal. Like, I haven't felt like I've missed out on anything. There were cutscenes, there were big dungeons, there were great bosses. Like, I really can't point at anything that's like missing. I think that maybe the only thing I could point to is like the world map is very barren when you get back to it. Granted, that's part of the story, is the fact that it's barren. But most RPGs of this era, that final part, like the final whatever the final moment you get with the world map is, they usually add a bunch of stuff for you to do. I mentioned Chrono Trigger, also like pretty much all the Final Fantasies. You get one final moment to go around the world map and find some new stuff and level up before the end. Here it felt like, and I haven't searched everything yet, so, you know, take this with a grain of salt, but it seemed like all I could really do was go back to old areas and fight like 2 different enemies. Seems like it would have been better just to go to the final dungeon and fight those enemies and heal, and like that would have been a better way to level up than doing stuff on the world map. So, yeah, like that's really the only thing I can point to. Is like they did not have enough time to make a really cool, interesting world map. It's more of just you get to the world map and you see how desolate everything is, and then you just kind of go and do the final boss. But again, I haven't searched it yet, and I'm going to open that up to chat in just a minute. But other than that, like I'm just, you know, my experience was that I got to the world map and it was like, seems like there's nothing to do here. But seriously, after that Deus fight, the very first one, I feel like this was a complete and epic ending to the game. And like even like the final cutscenes and stuff were just insane. Like, I couldn't believe how much, after seeing some of the cutscenes near the end of the game, it felt like, oh, they're starting to run out of steam here. Like, you know, these cutscenes are pretty short, and like the cutscene where they blew up the Deus ship was really epic, but it kind of skipped around a lot. It was just like small little bits here and there. So I was worried that the ending was going to be kind of like cut short, but they knew to put the effort where it needed to be. And that's kind of how I see it. The early part of Disc 2, it would have been nice to have it been full, but they knew that it was more important to do the end of the game right. And so I'm sure anyone watching this would rather have this awesome epic ending than have a little bit of extra content at the beginning of Disc 2. You know what I mean? So they knew what they had to do. They pulled it off. This is still a 70-hour game on PS1 that was made by a smaller team and had full cutscenes, full voice acting, like 9 different gameplay mechanics, a mini game, like the card mini game, the battler mini game, the gear movement, the regular combat, the gear combat. I mean, the list goes on. So like to say this isn't a full game is grossly understating. Like it is. This is a full game and then some. It's just parts of it feel like had to be rushed to make everything else work, which is not ideal. But this is a full game. This is a full game and then some. So to say it's the greatest game of all time, but it wasn't finished, I don't even know if I agree with that. I think it just they had to put their time and effort into certain spots. Then, you know, and what I get out of it is that they just had so many ideas and were so full of ideas that they just couldn't do them all, you know. So I don't know if I want to give my final thoughts now or let's see. Hold on. First of all, is this a kill screen? I'm guessing. Looks like it. Can I reset? Nope. I love old PS1 RPG kill screens. They're like my favorite. I hate when it just goes back to the menu and then like it starts playing the opening cutscene or something. Like I love these kill screens. They feel so final. Feels like you truly beat the game.